students of Group 4 are out with a documentary video on our assigned topic, the history of Sikolohiyang Filipino. We, the students of Group 4, Trishita, Maunisha, Vidyashri, Kesana, Raj, Sangamitra and Maheshwari are presenting this documentary video. We, starting from the left top corner, Trishita, followed by Maunisha, Sangamitra, Maheshwari, Hitnaraj and Vidyashri together presenting this video. In the beginning of the periods, academic psychology, or the psychology of thoughts in schools, was predominantly Western in theory and in methodology. Many Filipinos expressed dissatisfaction at the contempt interpretations of Filipino behavior by Western observers. This dissatisfaction continued as Filipinos struggled to assert their national and cultural identity. It was in the 1970s that this was initiated when Virgilio Gaspar Enriquez returned to the Philippines from the USA. Who was this Enriquez? He was a PhD in social psychology. He was the one to introduce the concept of Filipino psychology. His research included indigenous concepts and approaches in the Philippine psychology and developing creativity and inventiveness among the Filipinos. Filipino psychology is an indigenous psychology based on the Filipinos' true thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and experience. Dr. Virgilio Enriquez is considered as a father of Filipino psychology. Now, starting with kapwa, meaning togetherness, is the core context of Filipinos. Ibang tao, which means the outsider. Pakikitungo, which means the civility. Pakikisalamuha, act of mixing and comfortability with other people. Moving on to pakikilahok, act of joining and participation. Pakikibagay, throwing away your individuality in favor of conformity with the demands of those who are in charge. Pakikisama, being united within the group. Hindi ibang tao, one of us. Pakikipagpalagayang loop, the act of mutual trust. Pakikisanggot, act of joining others. Pakikipagkaisa, being one with others. Now, approaches and methods used in Filipino psychology.
Or Sikolohiyang Filipino, in Filipino, is defined as the psychology rooted on the experience, ideas, and cultural orientation of the Filipinos. It is regulated by the Pambansang Samoanza Sikolohiyang Filipino in English, which was established in 1975 by Virgilio Enriquez, regarded by many as the father of Filipino psychology. Basic orientation and context. Filipino psychology is usually thought of as a branch of Asian psychology, the placement, determined primarily on culture. However, there is an ongoing debate on the makeup of Philippine culture, because this will generally determine whether Philippine psychology is to be placed under the realms of either Asian psychology or Western psychology. The view of Philippine psychology is largely post-colonial and is seen as a kind of liberation psychology. 4 traditions. Zhu Salazar, a historian, identified 4 traditions upon which Philippine psychology is rooted: academic scientific psychology or academico-scientifical na Sikolohiyang, Western tradition. This follows the tradition of Wilhelm Wundt in 1876 and is essentially the American-oriented Western psychology being studied in the Philippines. Academic philosophic psychology or academico-philosophian na Sikolohiyang, Western tradition. This was started by priest professors at the University of Santo Tomas. This tradition is mainly focused on what is called rational psychology. Ethnic psychology or tal na Sikolohiyang. This is the tradition on which Philippine psychology is primarily based. This refers to the indigenous concepts that are studied using indigenous psychological orientation and methodologies. Psychomedical religious psychology or Sikolohiyang psychomedical, the tradition that fuses native healing techniques and explains it in an indigenous religious context. A social scientist suggested that many poor Filipinos are considered superstitious as a result of Catholic dogmatism, characterized by a vague combination of animism and Catholic beliefs. The majority of Filipinos are poor and religion has become an important facet of life, to the extent that some disbelieve in science. Many foreigners look down on Filipinos, going as far as calling them slaves. That is why when working as domestic helpers, many Filipinos report cases of work-related abuse. Basic tenets, core value or kapwa, meaning togetherness, is the core construct of Filipino psychology. Kapwa refers to community, not doing things alone. Kapwa has 2 categories, Ibang Tao and Hindi Ibang Tao. Filipinos value conformity because, unlike non-Asian countries, its culture is predominantly Confucian. This runs into conflict with individualism, which was brought about by Western colonialism. Ibang Tao. There are 5 domains in this construct: Pakikaitungo, civility. In Confucian ethics, right behavior meant right demeanor towards authorities. Pakikisalamuha, act of mixing. This is a social value that is primarily communitarian and Confucian. It espouses the ability to adapt. Pakikilahok, act of joining. This translates to participation of the entire community to help a person. Pakikabagao, conformity. This runs into conflict with individuality, which many Filipinos in fact willingly throw away in favor of conformity with demands of those who are in charge. Pakikisama, being united with the group. Hindi Ibang Tao. There are 3 domains in this construct: Pakikipagpalagain loob, act of mutual trust; Pakikaisangkot, act of joining others; Pakikipagkaisa, being one with others. Pivotal interpersonal value, Pakiramdam, shared inner perceptions. Filipinos use damdam, or the inner perception of others' emotions, as a basic tool to guide his dealings with other people. Linking socio-personal value, Kagandahang loob, shared humanity. This refers to being able to help other people in dire need due to a perception of being together as a part of one Filipino humanity. Accommodative surface values, Haya, loosely translated as shame by most Western psychologists, Haya is actually sense of propriety. Utang na loob, norm of reciprocity. Filipinos are expected by their neighbors to return favor sa euro whether these were asked for or no to euro, when it is needed or wanted. Pakikisama and Pakikipagkapwa, smooth interpersonal relationship, or SIR, as coined by Lynch. This attitude is primarily guided by conformity with the majority. Confrontative surface values, Bahala translates literally as leave it up to God, and it is used as an expression, almost universally, in Filipino culture. Filipinos engage in the Bahala attitude as a culture-influenced adaptive coping strategy when faced with challenging situations. Lakas ng loob. This attitude is characterized by being courageous in the midst of problems and uncertainties. Pagkakabaka, literally in English, it means concurrent clashes. It refers to the ability of the Filipino to undertake revolutions and uprisings against a common enemy.
academic philosophical psychology, ethnic psychology, at psychomedical religious psychology. Simula noong 1971, unti-unti na itatag ang Berlin Enriquez ang Sikolohiyang Pilipino. At sa taong 1975, sa panahon na naitatag na ang Sikolohiyang Pilipino, naitatag rin ang Samahang Pilipino sa Sikolohiya ng Wika at ang Samahang Pilipino sa Sikolohiya ng Bagay. At sa taong 1986, natutunan natin ang konsepto ng kapwa. Noong ngayon. Subalit, nananalaybay pa rin sa atin ang dugo ng ating pagka-Pilipino sa kabila ng mga samut-saring kaisipan na naibabahagi natin mula sa nakaraan. Ito ay magiging daan upang matutunan natin ang sikolohiya ng mga Pilipino sa pamamagitan ng Sikolohiyang Filipino.
Now, Filipino indigenous concepts. Psychology based on experiences, ideas, orientation of the Filipino. Hiya, bahala na, utang na loob, and kili are the indigenous concepts. First, let us see about hiya.
Oh, I didn't eat anything. Wait, tell me.
Hey, what's up? Oh, you're hungry? Do you want a donut? Extra donut. I can't really finish this donut since I already have it. Are you sure? I mean, I brought this extra one in the event that someone is hungry, so that I can give it to that certain someone for hunger. Well, if you don't want, I suppose I can give it to someone else. No problem.
Hiya is a sense of propriety. Here. Next, bahala na. Here, bahala na is a sense of determinism and taking risks. Next, utang na loob.
Ay, bakit? Bili ka ticket sa akin. Sa garage. Wala. Saturday. Wala akong pera. Meron, di ba? Kasi kailangan ko benta ng 7. Kaya hindi ko nabenta. Babayaran ko. Ginusto mo yan? Sige na, please. Para saan ba yan? Tulong mo, please. Para sa psyche kasi. Tapos yung proceeds naman, hindi naman sa ano, sa National Center for Mental. Sorry. Kaya please help me. Babayaran ko ito lahat pag di ko ito nabenta.
Hindi na nga, magkano ba yan? Konti lang pera ko eh. Tingnan mo ko.
Konti naman.
Magkano ba isa? Sige na nga ako, yan ah.
Lahat na.
Sige na.
Yay!
Bakit eh?
Thank you. Kulang ko. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Harmony, pwede ka bang mag-project head for Oh, wala akong nag-apply eh.
Kailan?
Baka next year pa.
Hindi ko kasi alam eh. Siyempre may thesis na. Baka wala akong time.
Sige na. Tinulungan naman kita dati nung bumili ako ng ticket sa'yo, di ba? Lahat pa binili ko. Para sa akin.
Ay, sige na nga. Sige na. Saan ba yan? Paano ko mag-apply dyan? Tulungan
Kaya
mo.
na lang yan kasi.
Utang na loob is a form of gratitude or solidarity. was brought about by sheer excitement. Filipinos have unique concepts and understanding. These concepts are the part of their culture.